Jai Hind students, I hope you are all well. And today we are going to start the third type of the past tense, that is the past perfect tense. Earlier we had already studied about the simple past and the past continuous tense. So now we are going to study past perfect tense. This is your third type of the past tense, right? Now, see the rules. First of all, helping verb of this tense is had. Okay? And which form of the verb we use? We use V3, or you can say third form of the verb, or we call it past participle. Right? So now let's try to understand the usage of the past perfect tense. The past perfect tense is used, first one, to denote that an action finished prior to another action in the past, and hence it is generally used with the simple past tense. It means that, in simple words, I want to explain you here that past perfect tense is used with simple past tense. It means that there are two actions. Okay, first one is your past perfect tense, means the action of past perfect tense is done earlier than the simple past, right? Again, I'm explaining you. Here you will see that in one sentence there will be two actions. Okay, the first action was done in the past perfect tense, and the action of past perfect tense was done earlier than the simple past tense. Now you see the example. Example: I had met her several times before she left for London. Now here you can see I have also underlined that I had met her several times. This is first action, okay, and it is made here in past perfect tense, right? And now see, before she left for London, this is another action, and this action is in the simple past tense. Now try to understand the meaning of the sentence. Here, I had met her several times. The action of meeting was done earlier than the simple past tense, than the action in the simple past tense, right? I had met her several times before she left for London. Okay, so it means that the first action is always made in the past perfect tense, and the second action is done in the simple past tense. So, in simple words, we can say that this is your first action which is made in the past perfect tense, and this one is in your simple past tense which was done after the action of past perfect tense. Okay, so I think my point is clear to you. Okay, now again there is some explanation about this. Here you can see, here first action was done earlier than the second action. Is it clear to you? Okay, so we can also say that past perfect can be said as earlier past. Okay, we can also say that past perfect tense can also be known as earlier past. Okay, the action of past perfect was done before the action of simple past, right? This line is very important. Okay, the action of past perfect was done before the action of simple past, and that's why we call it as earlier past, right? So this is, you can also say that this is the difference between the past perfect tense and the simple past tense. Both, you see students, both the tenses are in the past tense, but the difference is that the action of past perfect was done before the action of simple past. Okay, now you see some examples. Example, Shalu had already done her work. An action completed by a certain point of time. Okay, so this is your example. Now this is your another usage. Sometimes the tense is also used when there is a certain point of time, like they had established their business before 2005. So here the time is mentioned, right? Now one by one we will practice the sentences as we have always been doing. Affirmatives, first one. Now the form is the same. Actually the form remains the same in all the tenses, right? Only the thing is that your helping verb and form of the verbs are changed, right? We have been studying the form like affirmatives, subject, then comes your helping verb, okay, then main verb, then your object. So example, I had gone home before you came. Next example, Sheila went to school after she had written a letter. Okay, so here in these examples you can see that the action which was done earlier is in the past perfect tense, and the action which was done later is in simple past tense. You can see this is your simple past tense and this action is in your past perfect tense. Here also you can see Sheila went to school after she had written a letter, means after writing a letter then Sheila went to school. It means that, okay. So here this action which was done earlier is in the past perfect tense and the action which was done later is your simple past. Okay, another example, he told me that she had passed the examination. Again, he told me is in the past tense that she had passed the examination. So the action of passing the examination had been done earlier. Okay, so now it is in your past perfect tense. Okay, now come to the negative sentences. The form remains the same, subject, helping verb, and if we want to use not, then we have to use not between the helping verb and the main verb. So this is your main verb. Okay, I had not gone home before you came. Another example, we had never seen such a match before. So never is also used for negative sentences. So here we are not supposed to use not, right? Now come to the interrogative sentences. Okay, so form is again the same. First of all, the sentences starting with helping verb. Okay, I had already explained you about the interrogative sentences. Okay, two types of interrogative sentences are there. So first one is starting with helping verb. So let's see the form. Helping verb, subject, third form of the verb, main verb, and plus your object. Example, had Shalu already done her work? Okay, again helping verb according to the structure, then subject, then your main verb, then your object. Another example, had I not gone home before you came? So if we want to use not in interrogative sentences, then where we have to use between the subject and the main verb, right? Now second type of the interrogative sentences starting with WH words. Okay, so your structure is WH words plus helping verb plus subject plus third form of the verb and then your object. Here you can see the example as well. Why had the boy not done the work before I came? So again, if we want to use here also not, then the not should be used in the same manner. Okay. Why had the boy not done means between the subject and the main verb, right? So these are your examples of interrogative sentences. Now your last tense of the past tense is past perfect continuous tense. This is your past perfect continuous tense. This is your fourth type of the past tense. So let us study about this. First of all, remember the helping verb of this tense. It is had plus been. We had added here had also. Oh, sorry, been also. Okay. So had plus been. Which form of the verb? First form plus ing. Okay. Now see the usage of this tense. This tense is used to indicate an action which started in the past and was still going on at the moment of speaking or had recently finished. So you can say that the action was started in the past and it was going on continuously. Okay. And sometimes we also mention the time as well. So all the action is going on in the past, right? It was started in the past and it was going on in the past as well. Generally, a time expression is used with this tense. Okay. So now let's see affirmative sentences. First of all, form is subject plus helping verb, and helping verb is your had plus been. Then ing form of the verb plus object. First example, you had been reading the book since morning. So now here we have also used the time. Okay. Generally we use time in this tense. Okay. So subject you, had been helping verb, had plus been helping verb, then your main verb ing form, then your object, and then your time expression since morning. We always use since with morning, right? Second example, he had been working hard for 1 month. So again, he is your subject, helping verb, then been, then ing form of the verb, first form plus ing form of the verb, then your object. And here we have used for 1 month. Actually this is your period of time. The time is not exact. Okay, the name of the month is not mentioned here, so for that we have to use for. And I had already explained you about the usages of since and for. Okay, so the last example, students had been studying since 9 a.m. So again, students is your subject, helping verb had plus been, then ing form of the verb, and then your time expression since 9 a.m. Now here you can see 9 a.m. is the exact time, so we have used here since. Now my dear students, come to the negative sentences. Form is the same. Okay, subject, then comes your helping verb, then if you want to use not, because these are negative ones, so you have to use not as well. So not, then been. Now always remember, pay attention to here, not is used between the helping verb and means had and been. So you have to use here not between the had and been, had not been, and then comes your ing form of the verb, and then your object. See the examples. First example, he had not been helping me for 2 days. So here we have used not between had and been. Always remember, if you want to use not, then here in this way you have to use the not. Next example, you had not been reading the book since 2 p.m. So again, subject, helping verb had, then not, then been, then ing form of the verb, then your object, and then your time expression. According to the time, exact time, we have used here since. For 2 days means we are not sure about the days, so we have used here for. Okay, so for is used for period of time and since is used for point of time, exact time, right? Next example, we had not been playing in the field for 2 hours. So again, we is your subject, then your helping verb, then not, then been, then ing form of the verb, and then your object, and with time expression. Okay. Now the last part is your interrogative sentences. What we call interrogative. It is not interrogative. Okay, I had already told you about this. Be attentive and careful while speaking English as well, because it is also important part of your language. Okay, so try to pronounce the words very correctly. Okay, so form, first of all we will see the form. Had plus, so first type is your starting with helping verb. So first of all your helping verb had, then subject, then been. Now here see, we have to use been after the subject. Okay, so had, then comes your subject, then been, then ing form, and then your object. Example, had you not been looking after him for 4 days? So had is your helping verb, then comes your subject, and if here you want to use not as well, then you can use between the subject and the been. Okay, so here not is used. If you want to use, then you have to use in this manner. So had you not been looking after him for 4 days? Okay, next, had he not been helping me for 2 days? So again, had is your helping verb, then your subject, and then if you want to use not, then not comes between the subject and been, then ing form, then object, and your time expression. Now the interrogative sentences starting with WH words. Okay, first example, what had you been doing since Tuesday? So WH word, your structure is first what you have to add WH word. Actually see, the form or you can say structure is very simple. Okay, now you have just added what in the sentences starting with helping verbs. You see, the structure is same. If you see here, had you been doing since Tuesday? So here you have just added WH word in the interrogative sentences starting with helping verb. So to make or to change the structures, it's very easy. Okay, now again another example, where had they been playing for 4 hours? Now see, had they been playing for 4 hours is the interrogative sentence starting with helping verb. See, the same structure is here. Now what you have done, you have just added the WH word at the starting. So it becomes, where had they been playing for 4 hours? So that's all. Thank you very much.